Hi, Dr. Mancini here, and I want to give you one thing that I do that I think can be helpful for most folks, and that is the challenge in today's world is we have a tendency to go into survival mode, which means we're always in this urgency. There's always this place of get the next thing done, or I got to get this done, or I got to do that, and there then seems to be no place to be thinking creative about your goals, your outcomes, your possibilities, what's the greatest version of yourself, because you're always in this go, go, go mode, also known as a survival state. So one thing that I do is that when I feel like I'm getting pulled by that stream of the world, with the stress response of the world, I know I need to do what I call a manual override, because in that moment, my body's an automatic pilot. Our bodies are an automatic pilot. Our minds are an automatic pilot. So the only way to break out of automatic pilot is you got to get into the front seat and manually override it so that you can start taking control back. And the best, most powerful way that I do, that I've done and I continue to do, is physically move my body. So if I'm feeling stressed or anxious, or I feel like I'm not in this creative mode, I'll get up on my rebounder, my little trampoline. I'll go for a run. I will get down and do push-ups. And I'm not doing it for the intention of exercise. I have that by itself. I do this because I need to break out of this automatic pilot, which means I need to manually override it. And the way I do it again is physically move my body to the point that I push my body where it gets exhausted. So I might do 1 to 2 minutes of something high intensity, sprints or push-ups until I can't go anymore. But when I do that, on the other end of that, my body now is calm. And in that moment, in those moments between my workouts or my pushes, I then go into a creative state. Now, the hardest thing about being in a creative state is when you're in survival mode, you can't be in a creative state. So you got to first, step one, get out of survival mode. Step two is when you're in a creative state, understand this one simple principle, and that is this. Your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined or perceived. What is real and what is vividly imagined or perceived. Now, you're probably thinking, no, my brain is pretty smart. I know the difference. Well, have you ever gone to a movie and the movie basically freaked you out so much that, like, that night, you double check the front door, you lock the windows, you never do. You close the door to your bedroom, you never close, and you got those sheets up nice and high like Freddy Krueger's going to come in your home? Well, of course, rationally it doesn't make sense, but you do those things. Now, you don't have to admit to it, but I'm going to tell you do some things differently when something shifts your emotional state, and it could be a movie. Now, that's your subconscious operating system working. It's like when you wake up to a nightmare, what do? You look around, is there anybody around? And then what do you do after that? You pull up those sheets a little bit higher. You make sure the door is closed. I don't know. You do something as if, alien's going to come through the ceiling. Either way, understand that your subconscious operating system does not know the difference, and it will override your rational thinking. So with that said, when you break out of survival mode, when you do a physical, intense session of push-ups or pull-ups or whatever it is, and then what you do is after that you sit and you start to think about what you want. And when you think about what you want, what are you doing? You're starting to plant the seed in your subconscious operating system that that's where you want to go. Now, here's a key factor about getting to that outcome. Step one is you got to think of it. You got to conjure it up. You got to bring it up. Step two, you got to go from thinking of it to thinking from it. This is an absolute critical component to creating. And that means when you think of something, you're the subject and it is the object. It is separate. You're here and it's over there. When you think from it, you change your position. You think from it, you're actually in it. The subconscious operating system always, I repeat, always is in the present moment. So when you are thinking about something that's depressing, about the past, you're not in the past thinking about it, you're in the moment. So your unconscious operating system is in the moment feeling depressed. If you're anxious or worried about some future potential, when are you worried or anxious, in the future or now? No, you're right now. So your subconscious operating system does not know the difference. So it is absolutely essential that you practice thinking from the outcome instead of the outcome. It's a position where you are. You're no longer looking at it. That's a step one, looking at the movie of your mind. Step 2 is you got to step in the movie and experience it. And the way you experience it is not just through visual, because we're not just all visual. Some of us are kinesthetic, feeling. Some of us are auditory. Some of us just want to get a sense of it. I'm much more kinesthetic, so I feel what it would feel like in achieving that outcome. I would think about the people, how they would interact with me. I would do many different things as if I'm in that place right now. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, I haven't achieved the outcome. How do I know what it would feel like? Well, to be honest with you, we all know exactly what we want. That's the reason why we're striving for a goal, because we believe that goal is going to make us feel something. That goal is going to give us something. Well, take out the goal and figure out what it is that you want in the outcome, your achievement. What is it you want to experience, and go for that experience. The goal is only just to get you in that direction. You really want the goal because you believe in achieving that goal, you'll feel something, you'll experience something, you'll be something. Drop the goal and figure it out. Most people want to, lose weight. Well, that's nice, but why? The reason why is really the bigger drive, and that's where you can step into the experience of thinking from it. If you want to lose weight, just stop eating, you'll lose weight. But the bigger question is why? Why do I want to lose it? And then that is the answer of what you need to step into when you think from it. Anyway, I hope this helps. Practice it. If you have more questions, email us or ask us in clinic. Have a great day.